Hi, Serena. Why don't you come here and help me? Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is Serena. I'm Patrick, and you're watching the 6th episode of the Registry monetary system. If you remember, Serena and I made our last episode where we explained the 5 currencies of the registry: charge, exchange, value, transient, and transient exchange. And I do every with the blue and the green. Yes, so I would like to explain how, when we followed that episode, we saw how basically money gets printed whenever we have transactions over things which humanity has the means to make an abundance of. When there are enough people around to make those things are cheap for everybody. So what does that mean? Well, think about what are the things in humanity. Like, if you take the best that humans can do, that humans want to do, all of those things will be cheap. So what sort of things do you think we can make a lot of? Like, what do you need?
Well,
What do you need to survive?
we're gonna make lots of food.
Yeah.
By
So food.
farms.
Food dirt cheap. So imagine walking into a grocery store, picking up the food that you want, and some automatic machine captures the metrics that you've picked up. I don't know. Take a look at Amazon. They're doing this now, where they put like little cameras around so they know what you're picking up and doing automatic inventory and all this stuff. So you basically just pick up your food. You don't care what the price is because you know everything in that store is super, super cheap. It would cost you like 1 exchange for every piece of food that you buy, and you've got like 10 million exchange or something like this. So this is what abundance means. So then you get into a place where we start using transients and transient exchange. That represents moments of scarcity, and we start using those things during moments of what I call natural scarcity. I'm going to post another video about why our fiat monetary system creates unnatural scarcity, but there will always exist things that are naturally scarce, like me first. You and Jaden always fight about me first, or that will always be a thing. Or I want to go in front, or I want to sit there, or it's my turn to watch when there isn't enough bandwidth or stuff like this. So always try to solve problems with abundance because you make more money by doing so. At moments of scarcity, you don't make as much money and it's a lot of hassle. Okay, so there's one problem with that design though. Where'd you go, Serena? Alright. So the one problem with the design with transient exchange and exchange charge and all that stuff is basically where money's printed when there's abundance and money's destroyed when there is times of scarcity, is that it makes it very difficult for people to accumulate a high amount of wealth, which has a function in today's fiat economy. By accumulating wealth, you can use that to do the big things that we need to do, the big programs like invest in infrastructure. So we need to do that, like road, like there's just too much to do to get everybody to do that one thing. And we solve these problems with government taxes, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to make the bold statement right now to tell you that the registry monetary system, there won't be a thing called taxes. Instead, we introduced the last 2 kinds of currency, and we ran out of colors for them. So they're the white ones with the blue on the top. Just trying to help me paint them. Thank you very much. We will call these progress dollars or progress. I want to stop using the word dollars. I've used the word dollars in all my previous videos, but the next revision of the registry monetary system PDF that you can download on Facebook, I've stopped using the word dollars because, well, that's very specific to certain countries, so let's not do that. Progress behaves essentially just like transient exchange. So how does progress get into the system? Well, it gets into the system just like charge. Everybody gets the same amount of progress as everybody else over the same amount of time as they do charge. So, and as we discussed before, if it's like 24 charge a day, that's like one piece of currency represents 1 hour. So let's start with 3 here. So another thing the registry will allow members to do are to state to the system, what are the problems of humanity? What's your problem, Serena?
My problem sometimes.
Yeah. What's your problem?
Um.
What's your problem? Robin has a problem. His problem is these pieces of light bright that we just found. So there's too many pieces of light bright around, and he doesn't have the inclination, desire, or ability to clean them up. It's like garbage. Okay? Garbage is a problem. Okay? That's a real human problem. And we need people to pick up the garbage right now. Automated, it's better, but that's a different conversation. We'll get to that. So, Robin doesn't like how there are light bright pieces everywhere. And let's say, so does Grumpy.
Grumpy smart.
But Steve doesn't mind, and neither does Carissa. Okay.
Carissa, yeah, do that name.
Okay. So Robin and Grumpy don't like having light brights everywhere, and Steve and Carissa don't mind. So Robin states the problem, Grumpy agrees, and when you state the problem, you contribute your progress towards those problems. So let's say Grumpy and Robin allocate their progress towards the problem of cleaning up, of somebody getting rid of these pieces of light bright. But nobody has a solution yet. It's just a problem. So the next turn goes by and everybody gets, or the next time epoch goes by, these guys don't know what to allocate their so everybody gets a progress. And then they allocate their progress towards that and do another row. They continually allocate one of their progress towards this problem until the problem gets solved. And that's how people allocate their progress. So that you can't actually spend these right now like you can transient exchange. You can only allocate them towards problems. Or you can allocate them towards projects. Now, what is a project? Here's a project. A project, you can state to the registry, as some implementation to a solution to a problem. Let's say Carissa has a solution to the problem. She says, my solution is I will walk around town with whatever time I have myself and pick up the light brights. If she's the only member who's offering a solution to the problem, every time epoch, whatever you want to call it, the slice of time where currency is delivered, the registry will allocate progress from problems to projects. And there's only one project, so she gets all the progress. So all of the progress from the problem goes to the project, and now she can spend this progress like transient exchange to do what she needs to get it done. And in her case, she's going to pay herself because she's doing all the work. If she uses this currency to back up her own value or charge, it always has a metric of 1, always. You do no metrics for how much of the supply because it's her solution. It's always a count of 1. She can use this currency, though, to hire other people, which does take the metrics of supply. Kind of like a manager. So think of her like the manager of cleaning up these things. So she can find some sucker to pay with that currency. So she can ask the members of the registry, who's willing to pick up the light bright? This guy could, which has a metric of 1. And she could pay him to do it. But if there were other members, the metrics would increase. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people willing to walk around town to pick up light brights, that would, one of those progress would back up many of their charge, just like we see in the previous examples. So that's how progress works. When there can be competing projects for the solution to light brights. So let's say Steve here has a different solution. We're going to change the way, I'm going to design a way to make the light brights so that they decompose naturally back into the earth or something like this. Where did all of her progress go? Did you move her progress onto there? And was that from this pile here? Ah, that was very interesting that you did that, Serena. So you said, Serena, that she automatically took that progress that she was getting from the registry and put it into her project. She does not have to do that. Yes, you can allocate your progress towards your own projects to pay yourself because you like your own solution, which people will probably do, because if they're going to solve a solution to a problem, they're probably going to pay themselves to do it. The registry doesn't prevent her from doing it, but she's likely motivated to use this progress to allocate towards other problems or projects. So members can allocate their progress towards specific projects as opposed to the problem. Then Steve came in and said, okay, I'm going to come and compete as well. So now more progress gets dumped into the system. Steve, he's going to allocate all of his progress dollars towards himself because he knows that he needs to do this as a living. This is my living. I feel intrinsically motivated to study the solution to this problem. Robin is going to allocate one towards the overarching problem. And Grumpy's going to pick, so we're all equal here. Grumpy's going to pick somebody. Grumpy's going to pick Carissa. So now Carissa has one more progress than Steve amongst all of the progress towards that problem. This is how we capture metrics on the popularity of a project. Whoever gets allocated more progress has more popularity. And we take the set of all of the progress allocated towards the problem and evenly distribute them towards all of the projects. As there's only one in this case, it goes to Carissa. We can imagine a situation where there was, say, 4 progress allocated towards the problem, and then they would get evenly distributed. 1 towards Carissa, then 1 to Steve, then 1 to Carissa, then 1 to Steve. Because they're essentially 50-50, but you can imagine if there was 1/4 over 4 different projects, they would get allocated towards each according to their popularity. This defines an implementation of what people call a direct democracy, where we integrate the currency into deciding where people should be spending their effort on. Thanks for watching. The next episode, we're gonna learn more about the reciprocal kind of currency called reserve. Serena, I lost you. Come here and say goodbye to everybody. So there's only one more kind of currency left, and they're called reserves, and they're the reciprocal kind of currency for progress, where essentially you can use that currency to destroy other currencies, to deter aberrant or criminal behavior. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.